Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. NCAA proposes interim policy on name, image, and likeness. Under pressure to overhaul its vision of amateurism in college sports, the National Collegiate Athletic Association on Monday indicated that it would allow athletes in all 50 states to make money from their name, image, and likeness as soon as July 1st without forfeiting their eligibility. In making the move, which is still one step from final approval, the NCAA bowed to the action of numerous states' legislators around the country, which have already moved to make it legal for college athletes to profit from their images. Some of those laws are set to take effect on Thursday. The NCAA moves continues a period of furious change that intensified last week ago with the landmark Supreme Court decision in which justices unanimously said the NCAA had unlawful limited schools from competing for player talent by offering better benefits, harming college athletes in the process. In a meeting Monday to address the rapidly changing environment surrounding college athlete rights, the NCAA Division I Council proposed an interim policy for the association that would suspend a bylaw that prohibits athletes from monetizing their name, image, and likeness. The proposals must be approved by the NCAA Board of Directors, which meets Wednesday. While opening NIL activities to student athletes, the policy leaves in place the commitment to avoid pay for play and improper inducements tied to choosing to attend a particular school, said the NCAA in a statement. According to the Division I Council's proposals, any student athlete in the country will be able to cash in once the policy is approved by the board of directors, no matter if their state has law allowing athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness. The board is scheduled to vote on the interim policy on Wednesday. At least 6 states are set to permit undergraduate athletes to sign endorsement deals starting on Thursday. Some 19 states have passed legislation that will allow college athletes to do so within the next 2 years. The NCAA had effectively blinked in late 2019 in the face of state threats to create their own set of endorsement rights if the association did not act. When it acknowledged that it would not seek to bar California schools from its championships for following a law passed by that state that was set to take effect in 2023, the NCAA then pledged to create its own rules. But those were slow to materialize, and other states, including Florida, started considering their own laws addressing the issues that would take effect faster. Lawmakers in other southern states scrambled to follow, seeing NIL as the next frontier in the recruiting arms race for top athletes. Earlier this month, the NCAA acknowledged that it would not seek to block those state laws from coming into effect. It had also said it would not punish schools for adhering to them. On Monday, it confirmed that athletes may sign deals so long as they are consistent with the law of the state where the school is located. The emerging state laws also raised a new question. How could the NCAA hope to enforce its existing eligibility rules for athletes in other states? On Monday, the NCAA said that athletes in the 31 states, either without legislation or where bills are still up for debate, can also engage in this type of activity without violating NCAA rules related to name, image, and likeness. The NCAA stressed on Monday that the policy is a stopgap measure intended to be replaced either by federal legislation or more detailed NCAA rules. But federal legislation could be far off. U.S. lawmakers remain deeply divided over how expansive such a bill should be or even how urgent it is. At a time when they are embroiled in other complex and more pressing negotiations, the NCAA has repeatedly said it wants what it calls guardrails to prevent NIL activity from turning college sports into a pay-for-play venture. For example, the NCAA will not permit athletes to use the intellectual property of their universities or athletic conferences in NIL deals. The association wants to limit the extent to which universities can facilitate sponsorships on behalf of their athletes to prevent nefarious recruiting inducements and booster involvement. The exact language of the guardrails the NCAA will ultimately implement, however, also remains far from settled. Monday's statement offered a few details aside from suggesting that athletes disclose their NIL activity to their universities. and athletic conferences and permitting them to use professional services, including agents when negotiating endorsement and sponsorship deals. The NCAA also said it would allow schools and athletic conferences to adopt their own NIL policies during the interim period before the NCAA adopts more robust rules or federal legislation passes, many including those in states with July 1st effective dates for their NIL laws, already have. If you're a school and you haven't drafted in hashtag NIL policy, then what are you waiting on? Wrote University of Florida sports law professor Darren Heitner on Twitter. The time is now. So, yeah. So the NCAA is basically trying to figure out a way to pay the players, but they at least want to have stipulations, which you know they're going to do. To me, players in college should have been paid a long time ago because for one, they the risk in getting hurt or getting a serious injury is very high in college. In college, let's just be real. College sports and them make so much money. They need to be selling stuff to the athletes. They do. They do. They need to they need to see that look, athletes need to get paid to me. They need to get paid because they seriously could hurt themselves and they can have injuries that linger for years down the line. And to me, they should have been paid. Now, I don't want to hear the old heads, including myself, who played. Man, we should have got paid when we played. Look, it's over for us. What we and this is what I have a problem with a lot of the old heads in basketball and football professionally. These guys are getting money now instead of being bitter saying, well, "Hey, we should have got paid this money." Yeah, we should have been paid, but we didn't. So what we need to do is we need to help these kids get paid so they can have a future for their kids. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and that's the problem with American. People don't make sacrifices. We don't sacrifice for one another anymore. It's like if you even sacrifice or attempt to sacrifice for somebody, oh, you're seen as weak or you're seen as you're soft. And it's nothing like that. The thing is, you should want to help and go out your way to help others. You should. Because before us, there were others who put themselves in position to help the others down the line. Like because of the backs of all the old players from back in the day to now helping us get to this position, they got us there. You know, they got us there. They put us in on that plateau. So, but I hope they're able to pay these players. These players need to be paid. You know, they do. They need to get paid. So we have to start stepping up and these young athletes, supporting these young athletes so they can get their bread. So they don't have to. So they don't continue to be did dirty or treated like crap. Because they're playing for an organization who makes nothing but billions of dollars. Dog. The NCAA, I believe, make as much as the NFL, if not more. They make more really than the NFL. Think about it. You have the colleges getting paid off of that, and then you have the students who aren't getting paid. So the NCAA is getting all that money. That's why they don't want. That's why they didn't want guys to leave out of high school going to the pros in football or in basketball. Because in football, they want you to bang your body up so when you get to the pros, you don't last that long. So they don't have to pay you for that long. So they'll give you a good check after you survive. Once you survive, then they'll pay you that money. When as before, they were giving you the big money when you first came out of college. And if you got hurt, you would have been fine because you would have got that big money already. But see, they're trying to put a cap on it because because the older heads basically were saying, look, we the ones who built this league. We should get the money because we proved ourselves. But to me, that's not how business at times work. Business works when you're trying to pay and you're paying for an investment. If you invest in this guy, if you've done your research, then this guy could be a great player. But to me, you should allow all these players to have the chance to get out of high school and go straight to the pros. You have to me, because look what they have done. You have, if you're 18, you can go to war. You can go to war right away. If you're 18, you can smoke cigarettes. They allow you to start smoking cigarettes and killing yourself at 18. So it's like, come on, like this is the oxymoron. Everything is about money. And that's why I tell people I don't believe that crap where they're like in the NFL, well, we want your body to develop. Man, that's bullshit. They don't care about your body. They don't care about that shit. They just want to hold you there in college so they can make that money off of you right quick. Then when you go to the pros, they can keep their money because if you survive your first contract to get your extension or get offered a big contract, depending on if you're a restricted free agent. If you're a restricted free agent, another team could offer you a big deal, and your other team has a certain amount of time to match that offer. Now, if you're unrestricted, oh, you could get a big offer flat out, you know, excuse me, and you could just go ahead and move on. So to me, everything is a game. Everything is systematic, and I hope they're able to let these players play. So hey, I hope they pay these guys. They deserve it because I want them to have a future. College should pay, and plus, let's be honest, they're already paying these players. It's just that some don't get caught, some do. Look at Alabama, LSU, all these big programs. You think they're just getting these guys by saying, "Oh, we got benefits for you"? No. If you remember Blue Chips with Nick Nolte and Penny and Shaq and the one white guy, come on. They pay for players. So let's stop being stupid. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear or like what you hear, you can cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. Thank you all for listening and supporting the page. We are out.